Welcome, everybody, to the ESL Pro League in North America. A little bit late starting. We are into the pistol round. Smoke at the base of Catwalk. It's going to be Renegades versus Team Liquid in a very important match for Team Liquid. Kusta gets the opening one tap onto Ustillo. He's going to stay alive as well. Gets a nice pop flash. That's pretty creative, but now he's got to be careful. Renegades pushing up towards jungle. He does get tagged up a bit, gets one more kill and a third. Kusta goes huge, stops the push, and this is essentially the pistol round over. Nitro in the bomb site grabs two more, and that closes it down. Liquid is going to get that first round with a big exclamation point there. Kusta and Nitro getting all 5 kills. Sick stuff. And I am casting tonight with Bach, but there is a, apparently there was a Counter-Strike update in the 2 minutes between me joining the GoTV and him joining, so he is currently locked out at the moment. We're going to work on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out here, but yeah,
yeah.
I'm just going to have to listen to your beautiful voice. Just taking it away.
Till then, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, been there. You got it. I have faith.
Second round buy-up from Renegades invested into armor. There's only one flashbang. It just gets used by Sponge. It's a pop flash right at Kusta again. He's only got a deagle. Oh, and he gets the 1 deag onto Sponge. Sick kill. Azure trades him off. So mid-control for Renegades at the moment, but Team Liquid still has a huge advantage. On top of this, Simple is pushing up into B apartments. He's pushed all the way through. He has a lot of information coming. He'll have a quick flank no matter where Renegades decides to end up. Meanwhile, Nitro playing close to a ramp. It's all on Renegades to decide where they want to go. And there is Simple. Underpass gets 1 kill onto Azure, and the rest of Renegades, the remaining 3 members, going to rotate back through T-spawn towards the A bomb site. So Elysia and Nitro are going to be pressured, but they've got great positioning. Nitro underneath balcony. There's no utility to block anyone off or flush anyone out of position. This should be a pretty easy cleanup for Liquid. Pop flash from Nitro. He's able to get 1 kill onto JKS, and it's just down to Ustillo, and he has not long for this world. They should clean him out.
I feel bad. I feel like I should be able to help you with this one, but it's still just locked out. And
nah,
we're gonna try and figure this out. We're working on it. I promise. In the background.
You're all good. Take your time. Figure it out. 2-0 for Team Liquid. Now we should say, or I should say, that Team Liquid. I mean, they haven't played nearly as many matches as most of the teams in the league. Them and CLG are still very low in terms of games played, but they're really far down the standings. So this is such an important matchup, and it's against Renegades, who's second or third in the league at the moment. So I mean, they've had some really good games, but it's crucial that Liquid picks up 1 to 2 wins here tonight. 2 would be amazing for them, but they definitely needed to at least split the series. Off to a good start here, 3-0. The AK-47s come out for Renegades. No AWP on the T side quite yet. And it's the same for the CT side. Kusta, he had an UMP, but he's actually going to get bought the AWP from Nitro, drop the UMP over. So 3 FAMASes, an AWP, and a UMP. So they're playing the economic game at the moment, and Kusta in the window. Smoke comes out again towards the base of Catwalk. But Renegades is able to cross without losing anyone. It's full mid-control as Kusa's been forced away. He's in connector trying to find something, and he spots one over the top of the smoke, but Yam actually wins that battle. Kusa not able to get a shot off, so advantage here, 5-on-4 for Renegades. Haven't salvaged the AWP, but now aggressive in towards connector. There's some fighting going on, but it's actually Simple in underpass who's made a presence known. Brings Azure down very low. There's a Liege on the Sponge, but this A hit is on. JKS and Yam chime in. 3-on-2 situation for Renegades, and they have control of the A bomb site. It's only Hiko left. He's right behind Ticket Booth, but he's got Ustillo flanking in CT spawn. It doesn't look like he's aware of this at all. And actually, through the edge of the smoke, Hiko's able to dink him. Actually, that was a pretty incredible last shot right before he fell. But Simple's on a flank through T spawn, and Renegades have plenty of time to adjust to his new position. They also have a free AWP picked up from Kusa's dead body. Simple going to come in here, and he can't even find JKS. That's a solid angle. Headshot grabbed. First round for Renegades, 1-3 now. And a little bit of a pause coming out. Just to make my life, a little bit more difficult.
Just a little bit hard.
Why not? But while we have this little bit of a wait, let's actually check those standings. So I can be confident in the information I just gave you guys. But it is going to be Renegades is in second place. They're 8-4 at the moment, and Liquid is all the way down at 11th, second to last. They're 2-4, so they've only played 6. The least games played of anyone in the league by about 2 matches. So they have plenty of time to kind of recover from this slow start, but they don't have too many more rounds to give up. And on top of that, I mean, they're the team that's heralded as, with that simple pickup and with Kusta as well, supposed to be one of the best teams in the region. And sitting that far down, they have some pretty stunning losses, to be honest with you. I mean, they split with Complexity to open the season, lost 2 to Luminosity, which isn't too surprising, but then they also split with NRG. So no real dominant matches on their part, which is a little bit scary. They are going to be at the major in a couple weeks, but much like CLG, much like Splice and Cloud9, you want to see them picking up a little bit of momentum, having some positive performances leading into the major. And right now, we haven't quite seen that out of them yet.
And, Renegades came into North America kind of as a question mark. People weren't really sure what to expect from them because all we ever saw from them was their performances on an international stage. So we never really had a chance to see them on a longer scale. It's always been like event here, event there, event here. So it's nice to actually see them across a long stretch, and they're actually sitting in a really good spot. Second as far as just placement, but also plus 45 round differential on the season, which puts them just under Optic. Whereas Liquid, on the other hand, is minus 12, which not exactly statistics like you had said people would expect based on all the roster changes they made in the offseason.
Yeah, well, the thing with Renegades as well is it is a little interesting because ever since they made that move to North America, we saw them at they weren't in the last season of Pro League, so all we really saw them at was that Power Cup and what was it, the RGN LAN in November, and then since then they had a big break until Taipei, and even then, I mean, it was a big break until Pro League started. So yeah, we haven't seen too much of them, but ever since Taipei, I mean, I was there, I got to watch them play in person, and they've looked actually much better than we'd seen them, at those lands out west in November. So constant improvement coming out of their camp, and I mean, they're at the top of the Pro League for the moment. It's a little bit tenuous. They did lose both matches last night to Cloud9. It's a little bit worrying, but also didn't qualify for the major. That was a huge bummer.
Yeah, you would have expected to see them play on the big stage, and especially just coming to North America. That was like a big hope for them, was like the first North American major. They're already here. There's limited travel expenses compared to when they had before, always having to travel from Australia. I'm sure that's quite a hike. So it would have been great to see them, and we know they would have been able to bring some solid competition. So it is a bit of a bummer that they're not going to be there.
Yeah, and you always want the Aussies, right? I mean, it's just a cool region. Sponge, big fan favorite. Just the personalities on this team you want to have there. So a little bit of a bummer in that situation, but I mean, they've looked much improved. So time will tell. I think they're going to do much better this year than they did last year.
I think I figured out the client issue, so I'm trying to test it now.
Did you?
I think so.
Nice. I like it.
Hopefully.
So no word quite yet on what this pause is for. But just chilling. So it was Renegades to pick up that 4th round. The tough part about that is, I mean, Yam gets that AWP for free. That was Kusta's in the last round. And now, I mean, there's a lot of money built up on the Liquid side of things. They're going to have no issue buying into this one, but I mean, Simple's going to have to drop an M4 over to Nitro. And then after that, it's pretty much exhausted the bank that Liquid's built up. So a little bit of a sketchy situation in this match.
Let's see. The moment of truth.
Tell me you got it.
No, I didn't. It actually went to an even older version, so still struggling. This is amazing.
Why not? So now we're just gonna have to chill. Actually, you know what? While this goes on, why don't we do this? We'll let you keep working on that, and let's take a little bit of a break here, so I can figure out what the pause is for, and we can figure out a situation to get back into the server, deal with the update, and then we'll come back and I'll give you guys some information as soon as I have it. From production, from the admins, whatever it might be. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. We'll bring you this one as soon as it goes live again. Funny story, guys. I hope you enjoyed that 30-second break because we're right back live. The unpause happened as soon as we went to break, and this is the response from Liquid. They have a double up setup, Kusa and Simple both with the AWP. Kusa's going to aggressive towards mid, but it's going to be a heavy play towards the B bomb site. Hiko's the only one here right now, but it looks like 3 members of Renegades are grouped up. They are being a little bit passive about it. They're stuck behind a smoke, spraying through it. Hiko's not going to be able to connect anything. Sponge is trying to creep up as close as possible. One at top mid and one at underpass as well for Renegades. Liquid hasn't read this quite yet. In fact, Simple is just rotating away now. He's in kitchen with the AWP. Kusa takes a little bit of damage. Here come the Molotovs towards this B bomb site. Simple's going to miss the first shot. Now it's all on Hiko as they jump out of the window. Swings out wide. Gets the first kill into JKS, but there's one in the site. He didn't notice it. Kusa and Simple with the AWPs are the next in line, but there's Elige on the flank. He grabs Azur. So Renegades in this post plant. 3-on-4 situation. They've got to hold out. Nade lands directly onto Sponge. That's not bad. But all the meanwhile, Yam gets a leg shot onto Nitro, and Usilla gets one more kill. So still looking dire, and this is the product of having 2 AWPs in market. Neither of them can be very aggressive. So many angles coming out that the first 2 rotations over there have to play a little bit more cautiously. So Liquid is actually forced into a save situation. This is going to be a second round for Renegades. Those ops actually backfiring onto Liquid. Renegades get their second. Simple now being a little bit slowed down on his retreat into the A bomb site. He does find Ustillo, but he had a little bit of pressure put onto him. Either way, Renegade's looking good now, and they built up some money. 2 rounds in a row for them. And Liquid, behind these 3 rifles that they saved, are more than likely going to buy an on Hiko and Elige. At least drop something over. Nitro can drop an M4 or a FAMAS, whichever one he prefers. But they're going to keep going at this one. This time it's fast A play. Renegades already coming up the area. Elige spots it out, but he can't get the kill. Yam and Ustillo open things up. Already down to just 3. Nitro's got to come up huge, but he gets immediately traded upon. Nicely done from Ustillo. Simple coming through the smoke. Can't find anything either. This is another round for Renegades. It's all down to Hiko within the first 15 seconds of this round. That's so brutal. He does get a kill, but it's all over. There's nothing he can do here. He is known as one of the most clutch players in Counter-Strike, but this is too much even for him. Flanked out by JKS, he does fall. So Renegades ties things up, and Liquid's going to be forced onto a save into this next round. Few upgraded pistols now for Liquid, and Simple actually invests about $1,800 into this round. Buys full armor, buys a smoke as well, a little bit of utility, but Renegades, that switch up of the pace in the last round just punished them. They were not prepared for that whatsoever. And now they're going to slow things right back down again, looking for any kind of pushes, any kind of aggression. They know it's a low econ situation. It's either a force buy or just a save, so they're waiting for anything tricky to come out of Team Liquid. And the defense has 4 members stacked up towards the A-bomb site. Nitro, Elige, Hiko, and Kusta all here, set up in a couple different crossfires. Simple, meanwhile, is pushed up into the B apartments right behind a smoke, but as it fades, he's going to have to fall back. And Renegades still not making their presence known anywhere across the map. Just now taking mid control from Renegades. 1 minute left on the clock. Yam, Ustillo at the top mid. Azur coming in the underpass. Being very, very cautious. Liquid hasn't rotated away whatsoever. Bomb is down in T-spawn. Ustillo is going to transfer back to pick that up, and this is going to be eventually be a split onto this A-bomb site. Just going to pinch in, and actually even Yam going back towards T-spawn to meet up. So it's actually just going to be Azur, who's in mid waiting for rotations, waiting for a flank, maybe a lurk up into the A-bomb site, but this is working out perfectly for Team Liquid. It's exactly what they could want. Not to say that they're going to win it, but it's the best opportunity for them. And there goes Kusta. Looking for some info. He falls. Alicia's up on top of balcony. There's a pop flash, actually. But Renegades can handle everything perfectly. Nobody falls from the Renegade side. Just down to Simple on the rotation. He's got armor and a CZ, but not too much he can do. Just waiting for anyone to come through the murder hole, but Azur's not going to oblige him there. So 4 in a row now for Renegades. This is a really good start to the terrorist half once they get the guns in their hands.
And unfortunately, still trying to get this one figured out. You might be on your own for the entire first map.
No worries. Just get it figured out. I'm a professional. I can handle it. Kind of. So money into this next round should be pretty good from Team Liquid. They have the 4-round. They're gonna have a 4-round losing bonus going on for him. So yeah, plenty of money. Even Simple, I mean, he's able to survive with head armor and everything. So he doesn't have to reinvest in that. So he'll be able to have the M4. Kusa will be able to have the AWP. The double op setup didn't work out for Liquid at all. So I imagine they would just go Kusa on the op and everyone else with M4s. But there's no reason for them not to buy. It was a little bit delayed, but here it comes. Plenty of utility as well. Nades, only one Molotov on a Simple, but flashbangs, they have 5 smokes to work with, so all good here. And Renegades now posturing towards the B bomb site. 4 members into these B apartments, 1 going underpass. An aggression up mid from Liquid. Yustillo gets the opening kill, but Nitro trades it off. Kusa taking a little bit of fire damage, but Hiko's going to be the one under pressure. Renegades with that mid pressure, they decide to hit into the B bomb site. It's the best option for him, and it's wise. It's the correct choice. Hiko's the only one here, and he's just trying to hold an angle. He gets that first kill on Azure. He's got to do a little bit more, but now the flank comes in from Nitro. And that pretty much puts a stop to this. Yam falls as well. Renegades nowhere to go. They get stalled out. Hiko just staying alive, waiting for his teammates. It's going to work perfectly for Team Liquid, so they're back on the board. Unless JKS can do something absolutely incredible. He does have a nice headshot under Simple. Almost fells Nitro, but not able to pull it off. 3 kill in the round for Nitro. That brings it back to 4-4. Renegades are the ones who switch into the double op setup. Yam and JKS each having one of their own. So that'll slow things down from the Renegade side. They want to give time for those ops to find some opening kills. JKS has his towards A ramp, but he's smoked off. Some nades rain through, and Simple gets that first kill. Headshot onto Yam. That's the AWP down, at least one of them. Liquid can be a little bit more passive with any kind of presence they want in mid because they have a 5-on-4. They can sit back a little bit more, force Renegades into a commit to one of the bomb sites and just play the man advantage. Azur's going to come in overpass. JKS, you still top of mid. Bomb is still down over towards B halls. Sponge is just watching for any kind of a push, but Kusta here, peering over the smoke and connector. JKS is going to be the one to do with them, and JKS wins it out. Kusta loses that battle, so can't find JKS in the smoke. He falls. This forces Simple to get a little bit more passive in the B bomb side. He has no help, no teammate towards middle to really assist him in keeping control. It's actually going to be Nitro standing on top of a flower pot at a ramp, who is going to be the next important player. JKS slowly walking up. Our Renegades is going to start lining up for some smokes, and is JKS ready for this one? Nitro sees the shadow, gets that kill. He's also able to fall away. Yustillo does not get aggressive behind it. And I think Nitro might hear a couple jumps. But the defense is split at least 2 and 2. 2 at the A bomb site, 2 at B. Nitro underneath balcony, Elige in the site at the default plant boxes. Pop flash is going to come out from Nitro any minute. Sponge is out with the AWP, finds Elige. Nitro's just got to worry about A ramp, but it's going to be Azure leading the way up, trying to clear out Nitro, and he does win that duel. 3-on-2 situation. Sponge has the angle for stairs and also peering towards jungle. That's where Hiko is, but Simple and CT spawn. Grabs one. Retreats into the smoke and also finds Sponge. Punishes him. And now it's just down to Azure. He does win that. Down to a 1-on-1 versus Hiko. Bomb's getting planted. 4 seconds left on the clock, and it's just going to be in time. Meanwhile, Hiko hasn't progressed. Flashbang is going to force him to be a little bit passive, and Azure makes it into CT spawn. No utility on either of the 2 players here, and this would reset the economy of Liquid. It's so important for Hiko to win this, and he spots him out. Nice shoulder peek. Azure can't get the kill in time. Hiko's going to get the full defuse. He'll be able to get an AWP as well for his troubles. And another very close one. Actually, the time might run out before he gets it. Nope, just grabs it in time. So Liquid 5-on-4, and they sustain into the next round. But with that plant, Renegades can buy here. 6K on JKS, 5.4 on Azure. And here come the AK-47s. Sponge is going to be left onto a Tech 9 because he wants to get the extra utility. Only 3 members of Renegades have full utility. The other 2, a little bit light. Only 1 flashbang between the 2 of them. Meanwhile, Liquid, they have everything they could want. They have all the weapons. They have all the nades. Fast up the A ramp. Nitro once again throwing the pop flashes out. Elige gets the first kill. Nitro recovers in time to find Sponge, but Kusta, that's a little bit unfortunate. A little bit of miscommunication. Kusta TKs Nitro. Still a very tough route into this A bomb site. JKS grabs a kill onto Simple. Elige with 1 HP loses the duel against Azure, and Renegades has spun this into their favor. The rotation is on. Hiko and Connector. Kusta just watching. There's no smokes to block him off. He's watching for the cross into the bomb site. He's got a very defensive angle. It's going to be so difficult for Renegades to get past without losing anyone. It's all on Hiko, actually, and Connector. Does he know that Yam is close left of him? That's the scary part. Either way, JKS is going to slowly crouch. peering over, and there's Yam onto Hiko. This is now heartbreaking. Kusa, this is going to be such a tall task for him. And he's actually going to get aggressive behind it. Misses the flick. Yam's getting up close. Kusa lands that one. 1-on-2 situation. Bomb is being planted. And Kusa seems like he's waiting for a little bit of a peek, but Renegade's playing it wisely. They're not going to give it to him. Flashbang rains out towards Connector. One in the bomb site, one towards CT spawn. He's looking like he's going to wrap around. That's JKS wrapping around to the murder hole to just cross behind Kusta. And Kusta's going to save this. He's not going for it whatsoever. He's got a Molotov and a smoke, but he knows that the day is lost. He's just going to fall away, and JKS isn't going to let it happen. Nice flank, nice hunt from JKS, and that does it. It breaks the economy of Liquid. Everyone down around 1,500. Only Elish has 3,200, but not enough money to buy. Liquid, they get punished 5-5.
I feel like I'm watching this on the radio. It's quite beautiful.
I'm doing everything I can.
You're painting a very vivid picture of what is happening right now.
I'm an artist. I'm like the Picasso, really.
Kappa Moses?
Maybe MC Escher? Oh, simple. Beautiful shot. Yusilo drops B-Halls. Opening kill. And actually, they push forward. Sponge does trade that off. He goes right underneath the window. Oh, and he shoots into the wall initially. And Renegades is eventually going to clean him out. Kusa falls as well. So this should be a 6th round for Renegades. No real danger in it. Elige and Nitro are both so far away. It actually looks like Nitro is stuck in a CT spawn. So we might have a another pause coming out here after this round. JKS is on a little bit of a hunt. Is he going to be ready for Elige to be close to his right? Elige peeks into it. Oh, but he gets the headshot. Good flick. Going to bring that AK-47 back towards CT spawn, so we'll bring it into the next round, barring any kind of crazy chase out of Renegades, but it's a decent find. It's just at the point now where this is such a solid half from Renegades, it's a little bit too little. Liquid's kind of on their back foot here as Renegades put together a sick T side, excuse me. Actually, Elige is getting hunted down, and Sponge is going to be able to find him in the end. So 5-6 in the favor of Renegades, and we're going to, I assume, have a pause. Yep, there it comes. So this time, we're gonna go to a break at the beginning of the pause instead of at the end. And once we have some more information, we will get everything figured out for you, and I'll come back and let you guys know what's going on. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you updated. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pro League. As you can see, we did miss one round, but it has finally started over. This is still map 1 between Liquid and Renegades. And we are live here on Mirage. It is 7-5 Renegades as terrorists on Mirage.
Well, the good thing is I can actually see the game now, so I'll be able to provide you a little bit of support in the cast. Looks like Renegades is going for a bit of an A stack right now. All 5 players turtling up, 4 on ramp and 1 towards Palace. I have no numbers on my Go TV, and I can't switch cameras on any of these players, so I'm doing the best I can right now. A good pop flash into ramp to allow Nitro some space, but he actually gets taken down immediately by Ustilla, who gets a second one as well. That was Kusta. And now it's Renegades trying to take the A site. Simple jumping up on the ticket booth box, manages to spot the head of Azar, and he's going to rush in towards Triple. Now he's a little bit vulnerable, but he is going to find one more as the bomb goes down. That's 2 for Simple before he's dropped by Yam. Elige and Hiko responding with their own, and it puts it all on JKS here over towards default box. He's got the AK in hand. Spots Elige over towards jungle, still looking for the head of Hiko. Spamming through the smoke from CT. Elige going towards the top of stairs, trying to spot JKS. He's in a really good spot to take this first player out. Hiko is essentially taken out of the equation. He's just playing the clock at this point, trying to bait these players out. Eventually takes the duel with Elige, drops Hiko very low as well. Hiko goes behind Triple, but he is running out of time. He's going to have to run into the site, and even without that, without that kill, it doesn't matter. He didn't have a kit. There was no way that Hiko could have won that at that point. So it is a round for Renegade.
Yeah, what a sick 1-on-2 from JKS. Just balls of steel playing behind those boxes, isolates the 1-on-1s, but it's all made possible. The entries from Ustillo, so powerful, and Simple does his best to kind of even things up and bring Liquid back into the round, but just too much strength out of Ustillo on that entry. So this has now turned into a disaster for Team Liquid in this first half. Down 5-8, and they've got to save for the last round. They have a little bit of, upgraded pistols, so a little bit of firepower, but no utility, and Renegades is just going to play this one very, very far back. Going to be very cautious, look for any kind of creative aggression out of Liquid. They're looking at going up towards 9.
It's a bit of a spread attack right now, basically just watching every possible spot. They've got one in Palace, or he's way back on Palace, but he's in Palace. It's Sponge back on ramp to JKS. There were 2 in apps, one watching the balcony and one watching underpass, and then one deep on mid, basically just baiting out a push, seeing what Liquid does. Liquid's going to get a little bit antsy because they're on these pistols, more likely to rotate into a stack, and that's exactly what's happened. They put 3 people on B, but they're going to lose that first man on A, and now they're going to go for a bit of a rush towards Palace, trying to pull more CTs into the A side. The bomb's still back in T-spawn, so Renegades really has full control of the round because Liquid has no idea what Renegades is doing at this point, and they've basically just been bouncing players back and forth to each site, hoping to catch one of the players on the T side.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough for Liquid to get back into this round. And I mean, you can see Renegades fully rotating over towards the B bomb site. All 5 members are here. Liquid has the correct call, but there's really not too much they can do to stop it outside of some amazing shots. 30 seconds left on the clock as Renegade starts throwing their nades, starts their utility usage. They're going to enter into this B bomb site. Simple's Molotov out of position. Great nade usage from Renegades. There's Ustillo with one on Hiko. Kusta's going to kill the planner. That's JKS, but there's just not enough that he can do here. It's just too much to ask for, and this is going to be around for Renegades. Bomb's going to get planted, and Nitro falls there right at the end. So 9th round for Renegades, looking to get up towards 10.
I mean, a cute little play from Kusta, boosting up on the plant box. It's something that teams used to do kind of often in the eco rounds. You don't see it as much anymore, so he does catch the bomb planner off guard, but even with the AK in hand, he's surrounded at that point. They didn't really go into the site immediately because they were still playing passive even on the take. They didn't want to go for that plan immediately, knowing that Liquid could still be stacking up. So it all really comes down to this. The final round of the first half, with Liquid throwing all of their money into this buy, they are able to put an op on Kusta, and I believe earlier in the game we did see the double op from Liquid. So a bit of an interesting style of play that we would expect to see given the likes of Simple and Kusta on the same roster. But, I mean, they have an equally capable opper on the opposite side, Yam, who was, at the beginning of the season, like one of the statistical leaders. He had that huge game against Selfless on Train, I think it was, at the beginning of the season, where he dropped like 43 kills. So even with a double op, I think that Liquid would struggle to keep him contained.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing really well for Renegades recently, and also Ustillo now, the new addition, is starting to come into his own. But here, it is mid-control for Renegades. Liquid not challenging whatsoever. Simple looking for any kind of action. He's playing very, very solo in the ladder room and window room. Azar has the angle now, but he gives it up just in time, and now he has a nade out. Almost gets caught by Simple. That's going to force him away. Look at this. Ustillo's waiting for it, but loses the battle anyways. Nice kill from Simple. Good prediction, but it's going to be all on Nitro. Flashbang primed to bounce off the wall, but he gives it up. Azar's going to cheat his way up connector. Nitro readjusts. 3 members of Renegades waiting on A ramp.
It doesn't look like Azar saw him creeping in towards Firebox. They were playing a bit of a dance there. So he's in really good position to prevent a rotate in as he's watching the murder hole right now. Also watching towards the top of ladder vent. Still the only man in sight, though, is really Nitro. He's got support from Elige, but he's stuck behind a smoke, so he can only watch Palace, and there's nobody coming from Palace for the side of Renegades. Nitro's going to come out of that Firebox and only gets 1. Yam immediately shuts that down, and it's back to a 3-on-3 with the CTs completely locked out of the site at this point.
Yeah, and Azar's even looked like he's going to put a big flank either towards mid or towards CT spawn. There is Simple in middle. He's going to try and work his way up connector. They're going to get close to the bomb, but they've still got to worry about Azar, and he's being very patient, announcing his presence. Now he's going to peek out. Simple's there, but he turns his back. The timing is with Azar, and that's brutal. That's a terrible loss to take. This might just be the round for Renegades. Sponge chimes in down to Elige, and Kusta, nothing left for him to do, so a ridiculous first half from Team Liquid. I mean, from Renegades, excuse me. Well, ridiculous for Team Liquid as well. That was just very crushing.
I don't know if you saw that flank from Sponge. He ran all the way through ramp, I believe it was, or Palace. I saw him in T-spawn, and he ran all the way through T-spawn, all the way up in towards Catwalk to peek towards the bomb on the A site. A bit of a gamble. If they lose that player over towards jungle, it isolates a 1v2 on the site, or whatever it was at that point. I mean, it's a risky play, but it does end up working out. And Renegades have put themselves in a really solid position at the half. We talked about it in between the first half of the first half and what we're doing now. These teams matched up on Mirage not that long ago, and it was actually Liquid who took it 16-13. And they also played Dust 2, which is the next map they're going to be playing 16-10. So a little bit of a different start here as Renegades has gotten off to the 10-5 half.
Yeah, Renegades is not having any of that at the moment. And even look at this pistol round. They have the correct call stacked towards the A bomb site. 3 members here for Renegades. Liquid's going to take it a little bit slow. They're sending 3 members through A halls, through Palace. They have 3 players with utility. Kusta, Elige, Hiko all have smokes and flashes. So this is going to be a timing execution. Smokes gets deployed just now. So do the flashbangs. Ustillo underneath Falcon. And he comes up at the wrong moment. Simple drops him. Still 2 members here. Azur can't connect the shots quite yet. Sponge over at triple boxes. He takes massive damage as well. Finally, Azur gets one. But the bomb site is in control of Liquid. And now they're just going to press forward. Azur's got to do some kind of heroics here. But he is eventually going to get the kill on the Nitro. 2-on-3 situation. 2-on-2 as Yam even things up. He's on the flank. So he's made this a little bit possible. But now down in a really tough spot. Got one beneath him. Got Simple baiting in the halls. And is Yam going to clear it? He's not. And Simple ends things. 3 kills for Simple in the pistol round. So Team Liquid, they have a little bit of life into this half.
And he didn't even have a kit at that point, so it would have been really hard. He kind of had to move things a little bit quicker because of that. Interestingly enough, standard pistol round strat to a certain degree. I mean, it's the standard A take minus the 1 smoke for CT spawn. But the CTs only had what? I think it was 1 kit across the board. So they were playing a preventative play. They didn't want to let the bomb go down. Once it goes down, they're really in a difficult spot. So now they come into the second round with a force buy here. P250 armor on JKS, a 5-7 armor on Ustillo, Sponge with the CZ, and Azur picking up the scout, looking for the jump scouts towards B. He might be able to spot a player as they have 2 players back, Simple and Nitro, just playing passively similar to the way that Renegades was playing in the pistol round from Liquid in round 14, just trying to catch Renegades getting aggressive, trying to put those pistols in a more opportunistic position. But as of right now, it seems to be mostly an A stack for Team Renegades as they've put that 1 single scout jumping away back towards Van on B.
Yeah, and Liquid's actually coming back right now towards this A bomb site. And there's 2 members, Yam and JKS, pushed up into A apartments. They're going to be pushing forward. They might be able to find Simple. He's in T-spawn, and they're just going to hold this angle. This could be a little bit scary. There it is. JKS gets the first one. Yam peeks, but he just wanted the AK-47. So they have scavenged a gun, and now it's this jumping scout of Azur. Is there going to be rotations forced? There's not, because Hiko's come up A ramp. He falls as well, and the B defense has collapsed. That's going to force the bomb to rotate over, but Renegades, they've got a little bit of life into this round. Market has taken over, but the rest of Renegades, they're pushing up. They might actually be able to cut off this bomb. Nitro's got to be very careful and how he comes through these apartments.
Look at the boost up over the box on Catwalk, too. That puts Yam in a really good spot. And there you go. The bomb goes down. They are limited on time right now. They have to send that other player back over, at least to support the cat fight. But they're running low on 19 seconds left on the clock, and there's still no one making their way towards the bomb. Finally, the Elige realize what's going on. It's going to be up to Kusta, who's very low on HP. Down to just 4. He's got a MAC-10 matching against these pistols. Now just 10 seconds as Elige jumps off. And that headshot saves the round as Ustillo gets dropped. It's on JKS to come in on the retake. Both of these players are so heavily lit. And now it's a 1v1, a round that's costing Liquid quite a bit of money. But it is a round in their favor. Elige finishes out a 3K with 2 HP. But it's a round that cost both teams a lot because Renegades did force into that. And no surprise here, they're going to double force because they know that the T-side money is going to be a little bit rough.
That kill that Elige gets running into the bomb site with the UMP, just spraying and literally spraying and praying, crossing his fingers, and a bullet connects onto the head of his opponent. That's a huge kill to have. A little bit of luck goes his way, but you're right. Renegades do force back into this. 2 scouts, shotgun, 2 CZs. Pretty aggressive force buy as well. I mean, they did a lot of damage, so they know the money's low, but if they lose this, it's going to allow Team Liquid to really, really close the gap because they'll have to save again. But we've seen this out of Renegades recently, is that they don't want to give up any kind of economic advantage. They're more than willing to take these a little bit more aggressive buys to continue to do damage, to continue to keep the economy of their opponents low.
Yeah, even after coming out of this, if they do drop this one and Eco in the next not buying anything, I don't know if they'll be able to get the op. They will. Yam's the only one with money. So Yam will be able to pick up the op. The rest will be on rifles. It'll be a somewhat formidable buy, but it will be 10-9 at that point. I mean, you're putting a lot on that 1 round. And Liquid could easily tie things up. And, the MAC-10, it may not be the most amazing gun in the world compared to, like, an AK. But it's definitely capable at close range. And with Yam being one of the players who does not have head armor, Sponge as well, Kusta could really be the skeleton key for the B site here, as Liquid is stacking up towards Catwalk, and they've already made their way up with like no fight from Renegades. And Liege is just looking to spot someone towards the back of Van, and the B site finally drops off that box, going to give a bit of a clue to Renegades.
It's a pretty decent crossfire setup though between Yam and Azur. Azur's caught off guard by a Liege. Now it's up to Yam and the Scout. There's one kill for Yam. He's got to get a second one, but he looks the wrong way. Now it's all on JKS. Jumping Scout gets one, but they've been overrun. This Force Buy doesn't do nearly enough damage, doesn't come out on top in any of the battles. So Liquid's going to get their 8th as Ustillo is just stuck in right next to Murder Hole, not able to progress through. He knows Sipple's watching, and he can hear him running around. So his only real opportunity is just to save this shotgun, see if he can get one kill, build some bonus money, maybe salvage one of these AK-47s at the end. But this is going to be an 8th round for Team Liquid as they kind of progress up the to close the scoreline. There's a nice kill, long range with the shotgun. Is he going to go for more? He picks up the UMP and just falls away. Sees if he can get one more. He gets the right angle, but he just can't land the shots. Leash finds him with a swift headshot. So this time from Renegades, it should be a save. Too many members in about the 2,500 range that just aren't going to be able to buy anything useful. So Liquid's, at least force back the pressure. They're going to close the gap on the scoreline.
Yeah, but look at Liquid's money too. So, yeah, they have a decent amount of money built up on a few players, but it's very unstable. And they're actually at a spot where Renegades could still do economic damage even with these pistols, so that when they come into that first buy, Renegades would have a serious amount of economic control over Liquid if they just pick up that first buy round. But it is going to be a B push here as the side of Renegades goes for the mid stack. And so far, a 1-for-1 trade over towards Catwalk. Simple gets one, gets dropped immediately. Nitro going to pick up 2 on the push. Now 3rd, actually, that's going the way of Hiko. Nitro getting the assist. Yam the only one left standing here with the CZ, and this is kind of what you expect to see in this round, as it was pretty much just a pure pistol round. But every once in a while, it's this interesting thing that can happen in NACS. Teams will go into these force buys and have, limited success, and then they follow it up with a pistol save. And for some reason, that's the round that actually gets the win. It's this weird thing I've noticed. It doesn't happen so much at the pro level, but it's always a possibility. Yeah, I'm just trying to do a little bit more damage with the CZ.
Yeah, these pistols can get a little bit crazy at times. Yeah, I'm trying to see if he can salvage any weapons, but not going to happen. He does get a MAC-10 and a smoke. Actually, that's not a bad find, but he's just going to fall away. So next round is going to be huge for Renegades because with those aggressive buys, this has allowed Team Liquid to get up towards 9 with relative ease. They have had a couple scares in there, but Yam's going to have the AWP into this round. 4 M4s across the board for Renegades. They have plenty of utility. That's what that last save round accomplished. They bought through a lot of this losing bonus, but finally now, this is the buy where they want to make their stand. Kusta has the AWP as well, so we're going to see a little bit of a duel possibly between Kusta and Yam. Not initially, though, as Yam has gone towards the A-bomb site. Now he's going to go towards Connector. Molotov might keep him back. Actually steps in the edge of the fire. Kusta's watching for this. He unscopes at the wrong moment, but he gets it anyways. Swiftly scopes back in and finds the body of Yam.
Yeah, Liquid, kind of a nice start there as Kusta got caught off guard, unscoping as soon as Yam peeks. Yam just misses a shot, a rare whiff from Yam, and Kusta punishes him for it. Takes a little bit of damage by the molly in mid, though, so that's a little bit interesting from Kusta. A trade out does go their way, though, as Simple is taken out by Azur over on the B side. So it is back to a 4-on-4, but the T side has full control of mid at this point. I don't know if they realize Sponge is still in window watching ladder room, and they've got one in the A side, Ustillo, who's sitting back behind Triple towards the back of site, trying to get a bit of a shield between him and the players that could potentially be coming up from Connector, as his help from mid was basically cut off. Sponge stuck behind that smoke. But it does look like it's going to be an A play here from Liquid as they send the bomb back around towards T-spawn. They've got 1 in Palace, 1 in Connector, and 2 likely to move their way up ramp. And with a 2-1-1 split, this definitely favors Liquid.
Well, yeah, especially because the position that Sponge has, leaves Ustillo very isolated, very lonely. He's got so many angles he's got to watch out for. His movement at any moment could get punished, but there's some nice backup from Sponge. Drops out a window, grabs that kill on a Nitro. Now he's rotated over. Gonna watch Halls, but he takes a duel with Hiko. And it's still just Ustillo biding his time inside the bomb site, and his Liquid could have cleared him out. He's the game changer. Kusta's looking this way, and Elijah's jumping around. It's about a lot of time for the rotation. There's Ustillo. Peeks at the right moment. Can't get Elijah, but it is traded by Azur, who also gets the second kill. So Renegades hold strong into this, and they even grab an AWP at the end for Yam, who fell earlier on. But 11-9 now for the defense. And Liquid, they have a couple players who are pretty high up on money. They're going to have to drop some weapons, though. This is going to really eat into that economy if they buy.
And that first kill from Sponge, who dropped in out a window and took down Nitro in Connector, that really sealed the deal a little bit for Renegades to prevent the take. Nitro in that position was in such a good spot where he could potentially find the man who was in sight, the only man playing the A site, which was Ustillo. So Sponge drops out a window and Nitro doesn't hear it somehow, and it ends up resulting in a backstab frag for Renegades, and one that allowed them to get 2 players on the site, a good crossfire setup. The rest of the team was able to rotate into position in time, and they shut down the push. It's going to basically be a vanilla A right now as they go for the smokes and flashes out. A good molly, though, right on A ramp, drops Nitro immediately. Elish very low on HP. He's going to get the kill on Ustillo underneath the balcony, but taking a lot of damage for the fight. Kusta coming out of Potless is going to spot Yam. Another one for Kusta on that AK as Azur goes down over towards Ticket Booth. Sponge still in the sight here, and I don't think they spotted him. Elige was in a great spot, but he does not see him. Almost takes down Kusta. It's going to be JKS and Simple in the 1v1 with the bomb down, but I think Simple knows exactly where JKS is at this point. So he's just going to plant that bomb in a preventative spot and play the 1v1 post plant.
This is huge for both teams. The losing team is going to have to save into the next round. That would be massive. Simple. He does get over towards CT spawn, still watching towards Connector, biding his time there as he spots out JKS. Confidently, he can just get back and hide safely. JKS, meanwhile, coming up onto the bomb, jumping over, trying to find any kind of information. He doesn't know which side Simple is on, and he's peering to the right at the moment. Simple hasn't peeked. He's baiting this house nicely. Sees the bomb, see no one on it. He hides, and now he's going to swing out, get the kill. Smartly played from Simple. And Renegades, they're forced back to just pistols as Liquid once again close the gap. They now have 10 with a really, really nice opportunity to get up towards 11.
That was brutal for Renegades. The implications of losing that round. Now they're back on the single round of loss bonus, only $1,400 to get $1,900 for the next one. Even still after that, it'll be a really tight buy. You can see Ustillo on 2,000, Azur on 1,400. This might be back-to-back saves, or at least one save, maybe a force of sorts, maybe like a split force. This was devastating for Renegades, more so than it would have been for Liquid had they lost that 1v1 due to the bomb plant money. A great play from Hiko as he slaughters the CT side of Renegades, trying to push into the Palace on the A side. It's just JKS left alive here, all by himself, P250 on the B site, and the bomb's going to naturally make its way over towards A.
Yeah, Hiko just farming 4 kills. Huge stuff. JKS over towards B. And he's going to get encroached upon. It's not the biggest deal in the world that he lives, but either way, been a pretty good half for Team Liquid so far to start things out. They're going to have won 6 of 7 rounds in the second half as they even things out at 11-11. And that's big. We talked about, I mean, this is a match that Liquid, Hiko actually gets the ace. They actually let him hunt that down to get all 5. So kudos to Team Liquid being a bunch of team players for Hiko. And look how much money he banked up. He's at 6,300. That's sick. And is he going to upgrade? Yeah, he is. So we talked about Liquid really needing to win these. I mean, they've played far less matches than everyone else, but they're essentially, the second worst team in terms of standings in the league at the moment. So they've got to find ways to catch up to everyone else. And this would be a massive match for them to win if they could steal it away.
I mean, their standings don't really reflect the strength of schedule. They did have to play Luminosity already. They played Energy, who at the beginning of the season was a little bit revitalized by the fresh roster. Complexity at that point hadn't started to show its flaws. They traded maps with them as well. So, I mean, they haven't played that far into their season just yet. So this would be a great way for them to propel forward. After picking, a lot of people expected great things. And I would definitely say this isn't an upset, but it would be a strong performance from Liquid if they were able to come out and beat Renegades, at least in one map. Trading maps with them would be rather important for Team Liquid. Renegades is on a buy here, but not a really great one. A double FAMAS, a couple of M4s, no kits, very light utility. 2 players sticking, actually 4 sticking with just body armor, excuse me. So definitely putting all they could into this round, buying for broke, and another round for Renegades that has massive implications on the future of the game. If Liquid take this one, they could push them back to an eco yet again, and then they've taken the lead with the potential opportunity to just add more on.
Yeah, look at Sponge, though, getting so much information for his team. The one issue, he's still all alone. He's got pressure put on him first. But Sponge, he knows they're in B halls, and he has told all of his team not to rotate. That kill, Liquid's going to think that's so effective in pulling off rotation. There's 4 members of Renegades here, and JKS just slaughters the first 2. Hiko does respond, but he's about to fall any second now. Yam gets it. And Liquid's got to be so confused how this play was read, why there are 4 members of Renegades at this B bomb site. Sick play from Sponge. Liege gets one. Azur still hiding over towards bench. He misses the initial shots, but recovers on a Nitro. and Sponge finishes things out. But it's not the kills, it's the info gathered by Sponge that wins the day for Renegades. That's huge. One more buy for Liquid as they're going to try and reset Renegades immediately after this one victory. So still, these economies are just on a knife's edge here.
Yeah, this is not the best situation for either team. This is a swing round. Whoever wins this one forces their opponent onto an eco. But Renegades definitely looking a little bit weaker. Yeah, they saved some AKs, but they still have the one FAMAS a little bit lighter when it comes to utility. Not necessarily too bad. The two players, the body armor is not going to be that huge of an effect. The lack of a kit doesn't really matter. They do have two. But that was a solid play from Renegades. Totally caught Liquid with their pants down. They tried to go for that fake, and it just does not work out. And I think they had done that earlier on, and it also kind of panned out in a similar manner. Cost them way more than they should have. That was the round they almost lost in the force buy from Renegade. But they are going to go with a great start as Sponge has been dropped already by Elige. And they still continue to try and aggress towards mid, just getting mid control. Right now, it seems like Renegades is content to just allow them to have it as they play Yam over towards Connector in the A site, just sitting at the bottom of the stairs. And then they had Azur, I think, playing back towards Market, watching the vent, just making sure that nobody gets in towards window.
Yeah, but again, just like Sponge in the last round, JKS is a really aggressive position that's gathering them a lot of information. The rest of Liquid is rotating back towards the A bomb site. And actually, Azur, he doesn't even really have to stay dedicated here. JKS knows there's more than likely no pressure. They've got Yam right on top of the stairs. He's going to have to deal with Nitro, who's in Connector. But here comes this hit. He still is playing retake behind Ticket Booth, watching from far back, and there's some shots that ring out. So Yustilo now knows what's up. They all do. Yam gets damaged a little bit before Nitro takes him out, comes right through the smoke. Now Renegades has got to play a retake. They fall back a little bit. It's going to be all on this flank from JKS. They've got to buy time for this to come to fruition. That one kill from Yustilo might help out a little bit. JKS ever so slowly now just walking his way towards the stairs. Azur and Yustilo, by the way, meanwhile, I mean, they don't care whatsoever. They get a couple more kills, and this is all falling apart for Team Liquid. This retake coming in. Nico, he even falls. He can't get the kill onto Azur. Now it's all on Nitro. 1-on-3. Sprays down the first one. Got two more to find. Yustilo in the sight. Takes a little bit of damage. Nitro's got him both so low. Azur's holding the angle, and he finds the kill. Bomb not planted for Nitro anyway, so it would have been nearly impossible. He would have had a spam for that kill. A little bit of a mistake there, but now the money is all gone for Team Liquid.
I mean, they still have a little bit because they do get the bomb plant, so a bonus $800 going in their pockets. What's kind of interesting right now is that would have been a huge confidence booster for Nitro, who's had a rough start. I don't know if this is due to the issues that caused the delay, but he's sitting at 6-11 right now. Not exactly Nitro-like statistics, whereas Elige is top fragging. Kusta and Simple kind of tag teaming along towards the bottom with Hiko. I mean, they're not necessarily having a bad performance, but Nitro is just really struggling here. So that 1v3 would have been a great way for him to get his head back into this game because he's suffering early on. And it is going to be a split buy coming in from Liquid. Two players going with pistol armorless. That'd be Kusta and Hiko. Elige, Nitro, and Simple using the money they had to go for AKs. Kind of an interesting purchase here. The CT side still hasn't fully recovered, so I guess I can understand the gamble. But if you lose this one, Renegades is in such a good position to close it out.
Yeah, I'm assuming Hiko dropped over an AK-47 and just took a deagle from somebody. Meanwhile, Kusta's saving for the AWP. They have mid control. Renegades has allowed them to take it. Not a lot of utility left on the Liquid side, so battles like that have to be won. Good opening kill from Nitro. And Elige even chimes in on Azur. Now the B bomb site is so susceptible. JKS, the only one here, peering down towards Catwalk. He gets one. That's Elige, but now his position is given up. Liquid, they've got to find this kill quickly, but he gets one more on a Simple and a third on a Hiko. This is once again just collapsed. Liquid, no luck going their way. And look at this. Kusta inside the site just waiting, and JKS has just been a boss this round. Holds it off single-handedly, gets a fourth kill for his troubles. That's 6 stuff. Renegades at 14. And the desperation buyout of Liquid falls short, and now they're in trouble.
So now the question is, if you're Liquid, you know, you got to play for overtime, right? Do you go with the force buy? We've seen it from North American teams far too many times in situations like this where they're fighting off defeat. Rather than accept the reality of having to play for overtime, they go with the force buy. They do put a little bit of money into it. They go with the Tech 9 armorless. But really, I mean, the difficult thing in that last round was they had 2 players with pistol, no armor. So JKS opens fire on the men in apartments, takes out the 2 with armor. The last one standing was Hiko. He had nothing. He had, I think, a P250 and no armor. So it was a quick 3-bullet tap from JKS to take him down. And it just made it so one-dimensional because of those players on the field. This round looks like they may want to take the bomb towards mid. They're sitting back right now. They're playing very passively. The bomb is on Simple's back. He's sitting in kitchen. He still has the opportunity to fall back and go towards underpass. I thought for a second he was already in that spot, but he's just sitting in kitchen trying to see if the CT side's going to get aggressive. And based on the situation, it's unlikely, but there you go, the backstab coming in from Az. I can't tell where Azur even killed him from.
He spammed him. Yeah, he spammed him from the B bomb site. So Simple's probably pretty upset right now. It's never any fun. And now Molotov comes out towards Kusta. He's going to get forced out of his position. Alza's right here. Actually, that Molotov not extending just yet. So Kusta is going to be able to live. But, I mean, there's no plan for Team Liquid behind this. Once again, they're just going to fall flat. So Renegades is going to get up towards 15. They're going to be on map point. And this is still the first map. There was a massive delay when the game updated. So there is going to be dust 2 between these two teams. And then after that, it is Cloud9 versus Luminosity a little bit later on this evening.
I can sense the excitement in your voice about that
one. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for that matchup. That's going to be sick. So here it is. Just Yusila cleaning everything out. Elige falls as well. Hiko, last one left, but the bomb is over towards the B bomb site. So whatever kills he get, not important. This round's going to go away. He just needs to die. And he does eventually do that. Pressures Yam into getting the kill. So 15-11. No plant that round, but a pretty decent losing bonus is building up, so Liquid should be able to have a lot of what they need. Simple might be the only one on a little bit lighter of a buy. He's only got 4,100, but Kusta can have that AWP.
So the question is now, how does Liquid, combat this? They've been going A lot. I've noticed a lot of the rounds that they've had success was going towards the A site. They've tried to mix it up and go B. It hasn't really worked out. I like the thought. A lot of teams in North America don't put too much focus on the B site. Often that's like an eco-only site. So they're going to try and get mid-control yet again. That's been something that's been big for them throughout the entirety of the second half. But it is a 2-man stack. Now a 3-man of sorts as Azur comes up from Catwalk to support. They've got Sponge over towards Connector. He floats back towards stairs. Yam gets smoked off, so he's going to have to backpedal just a bit. He does catch a nade from Underpass, priming an incendiary, but decides to hold it for a little while longer. Re-smoke on window means he's still locked out of this position. But that molly forces Nitro to backpedal just a bit. And it isolates that man in Connector, Elige. He's got his back turned towards the A site, but the smoke is still covering him as he takes the fight with the man on Catwalk. That was Azur. So they do have mid control, but they don't really have anywhere to go yet. They've seen one window, they've seen one connected, they've seen one on B. So now they're just kind of locked. They got to figure out what they want to do. And it does look like they're going to try and take the bomb towards the A site, but with that kill from Sponge, it's going to make it that much harder. And now a smoke on Palace to follow up, basically putting Hiko in an unusable spot. He's going to have to push through this if he wants to support his players coming up from ramp, or he has to wait it out.
Yeah, Kusta is going to be able to peek into the A-bomb site. And he spots you still out, just shoulder peeks though, baits the shot. Now Renegades knows what's coming. Molotov is going to force Kusta back and isolates him from his teammates. He still has an angle, but they have to find some way to clear out Sponge and Yam, playing over towards the stairs. There's a flashbang that comes out. No one from Liquid. They have no smokes. They can't block any of this off, so it's got to be gunfights. Nitro wins the first one. That's huge, but Yusila is still chiming in. Holding Ticket Booth really, really well, and Sponge peeks at the right moment. Finds Simple. The bomb is down. Nitro does trade him off, but it's a 3-on-2 situation for Renegades as they all rotate over. One on Catwalk, one coming from Jungle, and Yusila still on spawn stairs. Flashbang works perfectly, and they clear everybody out. That's going to be the first map. 16-11. It goes to Renegades.
I mean, solid play from both teams. Liquid really gave it their all. They had a really rough first half, but they started to bring it back on their T side before Renegades finally got their foot in the door, economically speaking. Money control was really what kept Liquid in that for as long as they were. But, I mean, a solid game from both teams. Hats off to Liquid for trying to bring it back, but that first half was just too much for them to overcome.
Yeah, and with that extended delay, this match, the second map is still going to get played. That's going to be put on the B stream, though. So we're actually on this main stream going to switch over to Luminosity versus Cloud9. And that first map is going to go live pretty soon. So we're going to take a really, really quick break as the players join the server. And then we're going to go live into that match. And Renegades Liquid will finish out their second map on, I think it's ESL_CSGO B.
Correct.
But quick break, and then we'll be right back.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.